Hey guys, hey. This is Chris from FlashGets. We're living in some weird times right now because of COVID-19, and depending on where you live, playing a game in person is going to be severely limited, if not outright impossible. So how can you scratch that Warhammer itch without putting yourself at risk? The answer is Tabletop Simulator. It is a game that's available on Steam. I think it's around $20 right now. That being said, when you first get started with Tabletop Simulator, it can be very intimidating to use. There's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different maps. You got to go out in Steam Workshop and find the models that you actually need. And there's nothing really clear cut about it. But I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for you. I'm going to show you how to set up Tabletop Simulator, how to get your army in, how to play the game while you're in Tabletop Simulator, and how to find a game. So there's a lot of new stuff that's really streamlines the process, like the FTC map base and battle scribe to TTS, and we're going to cover all of that. So before we dive in, I just want to say that the FlashGets podcast is live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find the link right here. I also stream on the same channel, same time, Thursdays and Sundays. You can also follow us on Twitter right here. And if you think this kind of content is helpful, please feel free to like and subscribe. All right, so let's get started.
Look at me flash, boss.
So once you have Tabletop Simulator installed, before you even open it, you're going to want to go to the Tabletop Simulator workshop on Steam. So what you're going to want to do is go to the workshop and search for the FTC 40k map base. So you got it there. Subscribe to it, and every time it updates, you'll get it automatically updated within your game. You're also going to want to search for something called Battle Scribe to TTS. And again, this is something that you want to subscribe to. This is going to be something that allows you to import your Battle Scribe roster files, and it'll automatically create your army for you, provided that you feed the right models into it. Now, speaking of getting your models, this can be a little bit more difficult than what we just did. We're still going to do the workshop, but we're going to search for our armies here. And let's say we want Space Marines. So we'll search for something like 40k Space Marines. And now we've got a whole bunch of things that come. You're going to have to search through this, and it's going to be a little hit or miss. We've got things, people have created things like Space Sharks and Archangels and Crimson Fists, and whatever else that you may want. So let's pick one of these right here. Let's pick the Magpies. Let's pick the Blood Ravens. So again, this is something that you're going to want to subscribe to, and let's head into Tabletop Simulator. So now we're in TTS, and what we're going to want to do, we're just going to want to create a single player game. You can see that we've got our Blood Ravens chapter here in our workshop folder. If you want to look at other things that you've downloaded, you can click on workshop and all of it comes up. And as you can see, I have quite a few files here. But let's go to our Blood Ravens. We're going to load that in. And we're going to wait for it to load. And here we are. So let's say we want to just create a quick patrol detachment. We just want a captain, a squad of Marines, and then maybe a dreadnought. So we'll zoom in here and we'll just look around for what we want. Now, this doesn't have to be exact. Nobody is going to be playing strictly what you see is what you get. So if you can get something that's close enough, that'll work. So if you had something like a Smash Captain with a Jump Pack, Thunderhammer, and Storm Shield, nobody is going to bat an eye if you just grab this guy here with the Plasma Pistol and Thunderhammer. So let's say our HQ is actually this Jump Chaplain right here. So what you want to do is you want to right click on it, hit save object, and I created a new folder just for my units, and you can either just leave it as this, or I like to rename it so I can more easily find it. So let's call him Chaplain Jump Bolt Pistol. So we can save that there. Let's just grab, for the sake of example, let's just grab this squad of tactical marines here. Instead of just creating squads one at a time, I find it a lot more effective to just save all of the variants as one big unit. So save that as SM Tactical Marines. Let's grab this one here, this Vendread with the Power Fist and Heavy Flamer. So let's open up Battlescribe to TTS. So I've already created the roster within Battlescribe, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use this and upload the roster. Go to wherever it is that you have it saved, upload the roster, and then this is gonna spit out a roster code. So you're gonna want to copy that, and then go back to Tabletop Simulator, paste that in right there, submit your code, and there you go. Now, this is just step one of it. Now you want to go to Objects, Saved Objects, go to wherever you saved your units here. So we had our Space Marine Chaplain, we had our Vendread, and we had our Tactical Marines. Just drag and drop them right on. So the way that Battlescribe to TTS works is you load in your models and then you click the data sheet here. So let's click the one for the Chaplain. We click it and then we pick up our Chaplain model. And now it knows that when it goes to create the army, it wants to use this model for this unit. Now for our Vendread, we'll do the same thing. And then for our models where there are multiple variants on how they look. So let's zoom in a little bit here. I'm sure we have some different bolter guys. So here's a bolter guy, here's a bolter guy, here's a bolter guy. So, and you can see they're all modeled just a little bit differently. So if you don't want all of your bolter guys to look exactly the same, what you do is you just, again, click the box here, and then you select every one that you want to be used for that and pick them up. And when it goes to create the army, it'll randomize between these three models here. For the Tactical Sergeant, we'll do the same thing. For our Laser Cannon guys, again, click on it, select our 3 different Laser Cannon models, pick them up. And same thing for our Plasma Gun dudes. So when all of these are pink, you've assigned a model to each one of these, and then you just got to click Create Army. And then this usually takes a minute or two. You can see here, it's created our army for us. And the cool thing is, if you hover over them, it'll bring up a quick readout of their data sheet. So you don't have to cross-reference Battlescribe in the middle of a game. What you want to do, you just want to select all of these, save object. Now, this is your Space Marine Patrol. So just like how we loaded in Battlescribe to TTS, we're going to just go to Workshop and click on FTC 40k map base. Now, I've already loaded it in, and when you first load in, what you get is this. Now, there's several different options here. You can change your map size, confirm for gaming, and then up here, you've got a couple of preset terrain options. I usually play ITC Ruins, and it brings up the more or less the Nova Open standard format. So you'll just hit confirm terrain here. Now, what you'll want to do is, nope, not that. You want to go to Objects, Saved Objects, go to wherever it is that you saved Army, drag it in, drop it down, and there you go. So after you've done that, one of the key features is the dice roller. So instead of having to copy and paste your dice and then manually rolling like this and hoping that, you know, nothing's cocked, you know, what you end up doing is, say you're rolling 10 dice, you can just click plus 10d6, either drag select your dice or hit select all dice, drag it over and put it right into this box. It'll roll it for you and organize it. One of the more advanced features of this, which I find to be really helpful, is if you're have an ability that lets you re-roll ones. Now you can either just pick up the one, or you can left click this button. It'll pick up all of those. You can just drop it in. Now let's say you're hitting on 4s, so you want to get rid of these dice. Just go over here to this delete button, and if you left click on it, it deletes this row. If you left click on it, it deletes that row and everything else below it. So then you can just select everything, all your hits here, roll them again, and let's say that you're wounding on 4s, like that, and there you go. You get your total of successful wounds right here, 4. Now, another key feature about this is the deployment zones. If you can select your deployment zones by just clicking through these, and it will automatically set it up for you. So there's no measuring, there's no drawing lines, there's no putting out dice. You know, and this makes it as easy as possible. If you're playing ITC missions, you can pick your mission and it'll automatically place your objectives for you. One of the reasons why I recommend using Battlescribe to TTS is not only do you get the hover over stat line here, but if you press scripting key 1, which is normally bound to numpad number 1, it brings up your data sheet. Brings up your rules, brings up your weapons, all of that. If you, again, press scripting key 1, you can pick one of these colors down here. Let's pick blue, and it'll outline everybody in that squad in blue. Now, this is very helpful if you have multiple squads that are very similar in composition and they're near each other. This way you don't get them mixed up. This also ensures that these units are within coherency of each other. If you're out of coherency with the squad, the outline disappears. And then another really cool feature of Battlescribe to TTS is using auras. So your chaplain has a 6-inch aura in which he can pray, and you want to make sure that he can get off his prayer for these Marines. So what you do is you hit scripting key 4, which is normally bound to numpad number 4. Now you can see the ring around him for his aura. If you want to have that go away, you press numpad number 5 until you hit 0 again. So let's get to actually playing the game now and how you move your models. One of the easier ways of moving an entire squad at once is obviously picking up the squad and then moving them. Now, one of the cool features of Tabletop Simulator is if you hold down tab, you can measure how far you're actually moving. So if you want to move 5 inches this way, there you go. You can also measure your distances between models by holding down tab. Now, one of the cool things about measuring model to model is that it most of the time measures base to base, so that you can get an accurate reading on what's in range and what's not. And then in terms of trying to determine things such as line of sight, you can usually get by with, just getting the camera down as low as you can get and figuring it out that way. One of the other neat features about playing on the map base like this is if you right click one of these objectives, you switch it to state number 2, you've got a bubble here and you can know if you are within range of that objective. So let's talk about how to actually find somebody to play with. Now, there's a couple of different Discord servers that are very popular in the Tabletop Simulator community. The foremost one being the TTS 40k Discord server. This is also the home of the Alpha League TTS League. This is probably the most popular Tabletop Simulator server, and you can pretty easily find a game to play. Another place where you can find a game is the Tactical Tortoise Discord server. Trevi over at Tactical Tortoise, he runs a lot of high quality tabletop simulator tournaments and leagues. With that community there, there's often people trying to get in practice games for their leagues and testing out their lists. So between those two servers, there's no lack of people to play a game of Warhammer with using Tabletop Simulator. So as you can see, there's a little bit of a learning curve with Tabletop Simulator, but I hope that this video really took the intimidation factor out of it and you can just get your enjoyment out of the game. If this video was helpful for you and you want to see more like it, please feel free to throw us a like and a subscribe. Bye for now and keep up the DACA.